Hello Internet, my name is Ashes and welcome to my video on mica pigments. Just a heads up, the first couple of minutes of this video is just going to be information overload. And then I'll show you how mica can be used in resin. So let's just jump straight in with what mica is. It is a shiny silicate mineral with a layered structure, found in minute scales in granite and other rocks or as crystals. And it is used in a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff. I promise wherever you are right now, mica is there too. Now to dispel some quick misunderstandings about it real quick, mica is not a pigment itself. Mica, when ground up, is the perfect delivery source for other pigments. It takes other pigments super well and it blends really nice, coats nice, and is non-toxic for makeup and things like that. It also adds a nice shine to the colors. It's also vegan if you care about that, but fair warning, the pigments it's mixed with are not always vegan. So just make sure you check, because a lot of times you'll see vegan soaps that think that mica is just vegan. But unless it's clear and shiny, it's always got some kind of different pigment mixed into it. For instance, most red is made with carmine or crushed up beetles. And then there's bone black made from charred animal bones. Now, I don't care. I mean, bugs are good protein, and if you've ever eaten cereal or grain, you've eaten some part of a bug. And at least they're using all of the farm animals. But if you do care, please be aware. I'm not going to try and get super preachy. I would just be doing you a disservice if I didn't inform you properly. There are vegan pigments you can get, which comes to my next topic of just because it's vegan doesn't mean it's ethically sourced. I did not know this when I first started resin, but most mica was probably built on kid miners in India, risking their lives in a sketchy hole to feed their families. I'm not telling you what to do, I'm just telling you where it comes from, so you are aware and you can make the decisions on your own. There are quite a few companies that have started to run their own chains to make sure that adults are working the mines, and there are actually even some companies using synthetic mica. And before someone comes after me with it not being natural, just because the earth makes it does not mean it's good for you. I mean, just look up everything that's poisonous. Plus this is a resin video, and UV resin is not naturally made. So thanks for staying with me through that info dump. I'll get to the actual techniques now. Now first off, mica could come in a wide varieties of containers, and I know that doesn't seem important, but I'm telling you, it is a tiny powdery dust. You think glitter gets everywhere? Just try opening one of these little plastic bags. It will be all over everything. I definitely recommend the tiny jars if you have the space to store them. So the first and most common way to use micas is just to mix the powder in with the UV resin. You need to make sure you don't add too much, like with all of these pigments. And some micas are way more pigmented than others, so just dip your toothpick in or your popsicle stick and just get a little bit and mix it and make sure it's the color you want and that light still gets through it. I mean, my advice with pretty much everything UV resin related is to start with a little. You can always add more, you can't take it back out. Though technically that's not 100% true because you can add more UV resin to thin it out, it's just you'll have more than you actually needed. So let's start off with some basic, really cool color shift metallic mica pigment. This is the really good stuff. I can usually guess about how much I'll need since I've done this a lot, but for you I just add little tiny amounts. All you really need is just a little tiny scoop. And that's pretty much the basics of mica. Some colors, you can mix some colors in, just pour it into the mold. It doesn't matter how many colors either. You can swirl or pour at the same time, or even mix two micas to get a different color. One of the other really popular methods is to dust the inside of the mold before pouring the resin in. Now the resin can be clear or also pigmented with a different mica color. I think this technique looks best on texture molds, like this really cool crystal one. And as kind of a fun recommendation, they just started selling these mica sprays, usually for paper crafts. This stuff adds some really cool bubble effects, if that's what you're looking for. Normally people are trying to get the bubbles out, but I think this looks really cool. I couldn't find the ingredients for what's in this, but on the Amazon page it says that it's acrylic paint type. Normal acrylic paint does not add this effect in resin. On a quick tangent, acrylic paint can be used as a color for resin, but it tends to kill the specialty effects like this color shift paint for instance. But back to the spray, it must be like a silicone oil because water usually like destroys resin. Either way, it's a great little hack for you if you're looking for something to spice up a piece. And really, that's about it. I know this was mostly info dumping, and I really appreciate you making it this far. Mica pigments are one of those things that every resin artist has in their toolkit, and usually comes in every beginner kit you can get, with really the only rule being add small amounts until it's the color you want. As long as the UV light can get through, you're good to go. So just go ahead and have fun. And thanks for watching. The next video I'm going to make is definitely going to be more project oriented. So please do the YouTube things if you want to see that. I'm almost to 200 subs and I appreciate everyone. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.